Hello everyone, I am going to make something called silly soup in this video, and my silly soup has some very silly ingredients, not normal soup ingredients, but silly soup ingredients. And my friend Ollie the owl, look, he's waving at you, is going to help. Now, in my silly soup, we can only put things that begin with the p, p, p sound. Before we start, can you make the p, p, p sound? Go on, have a go. Join in with me. P, p, p. So, what we're going to do is, first job is we're going to say the silly soup rhyme. Every time I mix the silly soup, or Ollie mixes the silly soup, we say a rhyme like this. I'm going to make some silly soup. I'm making soup that's silly. I'm going to put it in the fridge to make it nice and chilly. Okay? That's going to be our silly soup rhyme. But first of all, we need to decide what we're going to put in. So these pictures here are things that could possibly go in. If they begin with p, our sound, our silly soup sound, we put them in the silly soup and give the silly soup a mix. If they don't begin with a p sound, it means we don't want them and we put them in the bin. You okay, Ollie? Ready to go? Think he is. And are you okay, children? Are you ready? So, first of all, we're going to have a look at this picture here. Now, shall I tell it that way? Have a look, what is it? That's right, it's a pencil. You say it, pencil. Now, does pencil begin with a p sound or not a p sound? Have a little think. Tell your grown-up. Does pencil begin with a p? Pencil. What do you think, Ollie? Does pencil begin with a p sound? Oh, look, he's nodding. So that means we put it in the silly soup bowl. So let's put it in. Let's mix and say the rhyme. I'm going to make some silly soup. I'm making soup that's silly. I'm going to put it in the fridge and keep it nice and chilly. Okay, now let's have a look at our next item. Next item we've got is what is it? That's right, it's a sun. You say it, sun. Now, does sun begin with a p, p, p sound? Tell your grown-up. Does sun begin with a p? What do you think, Ollie? I think you're right, Ollie. No, it doesn't. Sun does not begin with a p. Sun begins with a s for sun. That means put it in the bin. We don't want it in our silly soup. Now let's have a look at this picture here. This is a picture of some ink. Ink. Let's see. Ink. Does ink begin with a p? Ink. Have a little think. Tell your grown-ups. Does I begin with a p? What do you think, Ollie? Oh dear. Oh, he looks like he's got his wings crossed. No, he's saying no. Should we see? So, ink. Ink begins with an I, not a p. So, we need to put it in the bin, don't we? In the bin. Let's have a look at another one now. It's an animal here. Can you say what the animal is? Good. It's a pig. Pig. I need you to say whether pig begins with a p. What do you think? Does pig begin with a p? What do you think, Ollie? Does pig begin with a p? Oh, he's nodding a lot. That's because p does begin with a p. Pig does begin with a p, p for pig. So where do we have to put it? we have to put it in the silly soup and get mixing. I'm going to make some silly soup. I'm making soup that's silly. I'm going to put it in the fridge and make it nice and chilly. Very good. Next we have got, let's have a look what this is. It's an apple. Jolly good. Apple. Now does apple start with a P sound? Apple. Does it start with a P sound? Apple. What do you think, Ollie? Oh, he's saying no. He's shaking his whole body. Does apple begin with a P? No, it doesn't. Apple begins with an A. A for apple. So apple has to go in the bin. We don't need it in our silly soup. Right now, let's have a look at this picture here. This picture is of it's a tap. A tap. Now, have a little think. Does tap begin with a P? Tap. What do you think? What do you think, Ollie? Does tap begin with a P? No, he's got his wings crossed again. He's saying no. Shall I tell you? Tap begins with a T, not a P. So tap goes in the bin. Okay, so no tap in our silly soup bowl. Now we've got a piece of paper here. And the piece of paper is, what colour is it? That's it, it's pink. Pink. Now, does pink begin with a P sound? What do you think? Pink. Tell your grown up. Does pink begin with a P sound? What do you think, Ollie? Does pink begin with a P sound? Oh, he's nodding. Pink does begin with a P sound. So if pink begins with P, where does the pink paper have to go? That's right, in the silly soup bowl. Let's give it a mix. Say our rhyme. I'm going to make some silly soup. I'm making soup that's silly. I'm going to put it in the fridge and make it nice and chilly. Oh, no more things now to put in. I think that must mean our silly soup is ready to go in the fridge. But, oh my goodness, something has appeared in our silly soup bowl. Ooh, that wasn't in before. That must be what we made with all our ingredients. Do you know what it is? It's a penguin bar. A chocolate penguin bar. And what does penguin begin with? Penguin. That's right. Penguin begins with a P, P, P. What a treat! A chocolate penguin bar. I think, I think maybe Ollie deserves a treat. There we go, Ollie. Okay, children, well done.